Imagine walking into a home where tragedy echoes through the halls, where footsteps follow you in empty rooms, and where the spirits of those who suffered there are said to still roam. This is the Monte Cristo Homestead, widely known as the most haunted house in Australia. But are these ghosts real, or are they simply legends born from a dark and violent past? Monte Cristo was built back in 1885 by Christopher and Elizabeth Crawley, one of the wealthiest and most influential families in the area. From the outside, it was a symbol of prosperity and success. But behind its grand exterior lies a long and troubling history of cruelty, mysterious deaths, and a deep-seated sorrow that many believe has left something behind, staining the very soul of the house. For over a century, the homestead has collected stories of tragedy. One of the most chilling revolves around a young housekeeper who worked for the Crawleys. The official story is that she fell from the balcony to her death, but whispers and rumors have persisted for decades, suggesting she was pushed, possibly by Christopher Crawley himself. To this day, visitors and staff claim to witness a shadowy figure falling from that same balcony over and over again, replaying the terrifying moment of her death in a silent, endless loop. Some have even reported feeling a sudden, inexplicable urge to jump when standing in that exact spot, as if a malevolent force is trying to pull them over the edge. And she's not the only one. Another well-known haunting centers on a stable boy who tragically burned to death in a fire that swept through the stables. The cause of the fire remains a mystery, but his spirit is said to be trapped there. Guests on ghost tours report hearing agonizing screams echoing from the empty stalls, smelling smoke when there is no fire, or seeing a fleeting terrified figure of a young boy racing through the stables before vanishing in a flash of light. It's a heartbreaking reminder of a life cut short in the most horrific way. But perhaps the most disturbing spirit said to reside at Monte Cristo is that of Harold, a man who suffered from a mental disability and was hidden away from the world by the Crawley family. For decades, he was allegedly kept locked in a small, dark room, isolated and mistreated. The years of confinement took their toll, and Harold reportedly became violent. He was eventually committed to an institution, where he died a short time later. His spirit, however, is said to have returned to the only home he ever knew. Visitors to his room report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness and anger. They hear frantic banging on the walls, feel unseen hands tugging at their clothes, and listen to the faint, desperate cries of a man begging for help. It's a profoundly unsettling experience that speaks to a lifetime of suffering. Even the lady of the house, Elizabeth Crawley, is believed to have never truly left. After her husband's death, she rarely left the home and spent the rest of her life in mourning. Her spirit is now one of the most frequently sighted apparitions. Visitors see a woman dressed in black Victorian mourning attire, hovering in doorways or standing silently at the top of the grand staircase. Many who climb those stairs report a sudden, intense drop in temperature, and the unnerving sensation of being watched by an unseen presence. It's as if Elizabeth is still keeping a stern, watchful eye over her domain, judging all who enter. This is the haunting version, a narrative pieced together from countless personal experiences, eyewitness accounts, and ghostly encounters. But what if there's another explanation? Skeptics argue that many of these stories are exaggerated or based on unreliable accounts passed down through generations. They point out that some of the deaths recorded at Monte Cristo were tragic accidents or events that have been misunderstood and dramatized over time. The home's current owners heavily promote its haunted reputation and offer popular ghost tours. Critics suggest this commercial aspect might encourage visitors to interpret normal, everyday sounds, the creaking of old wood, drafts whistling through corridors, and the noises of animals outside as supernatural activity. After all, when you're expecting to see a ghost, every shadow can look like a figure. Historians also note that while the Crawley family history was certainly harsh by modern standards, many of the more lurid details have been sensationalized for dramatic effect. The truth may be less sinister than the legends suggest. Furthermore, the very atmosphere of the home is designed to evoke a sense of fear and unease. The dim lighting, the imposing antique furniture, and the thick, sound-muffling walls create a powerful sense of isolation and tension. This environment primes visitors to be on high alert, making their minds more susceptible to seeing and hearing things that might not be there. Your imagination can be a powerful thing, especially in a place so steeped in a dark history. And yet, despite the skepticism, thousands of people who have walked through Monte Cristo's doors insist that their experiences were undeniably real. They speak of cold touches from invisible hands, of seeing full-bodied shadow figures move through locked rooms, of hearing disembodied voices whisper their names, and of a persistent chilling sensation of being followed. The sheer volume and consistency of these reports are difficult to dismiss entirely, so we are left with two compelling possibilities. The first is that Monte Cristo Homestead is truly filled with the restless spirits of those who lived and died within its walls, their souls forever bound to the house by a history of tragedy and sorrow. The second is that it is a place where a dark and violent past has inspired powerful stories, and the eerie atmosphere fuels an active imagination, creating hauntings that feel just as real as any ghost. Is Monte Cristo truly haunted by spirits from another realm, or is it haunted by the lingering memory of its own past? Which truth do you believe? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into the unknown.